Hello, everyone, and welcome to Brian White's According To. Tune into our podcasts and hear interviews, music, and storytelling from the artist who died to tell. Curious? Let me explain. 2020 is my 50th year as a radio personality. I've worked around the country at some of the top radio stations with some of the top radio personalities of our generation. I've met many musicians and conducted many interviews, but nothing nearly as exciting as the project we are undertaking now. I was introduced to the afterlife when my wife, a writer, did an article about a psychic medium. She was so enthusiastic about her experience that she decided to continue speaking with the other side through her medium, so she could research her family tree. I was curious and decided to try it for myself. My first reading came in November of 2018 and was nothing short of amazing, as I was able to communicate with friends and family who had passed over. During the reading, I was contacted by Prince, who wanted to thank me for helping get his music played when I worked in Detroit. I was one of the first to introduce his music to the world, and the rest is history. I was fascinated and amazed at this experience and decided to try it again sometime. My next reading was scheduled for February 9th, 2020. The evening before the reading, my wife and I had been discussing the possibility of producing a podcast, although we weren't quite sure what it would be about. The next day, my reading appointment came, and during this reading, I communicated through Myrna Dees, our friend and psychic medium, with Casey Kasem, Michael Hutchins, Sid Barrett, Sid Vicious, Jim Morrison, Freddie Mercury, George Harrison, and John Lennon. Oh, and Charles Manson. Several things came out of these conversations. Those who have passed over want to continue communication with us, and every artist we spoke with wants to tell the world how poorly the music industry treats their beloved superstars. An idea is born. We realized we had the subject of the podcast, speaking to those who have passed over and letting them tell the world their stories. My wife was able to communicate on a limited level with those passed over, and we contacted the group of artists we had spoken to during the reading with Myrna. They all encouraged the idea and agreed to participate. So here we are. We've been working hard on this project to get it ready, and we are ready. Hi, it's Brian White, and welcome to Brian White's According To, Season 1, Episode 3. Today we're speaking with Janis Joplin.
Janis says hi.
Oh my goodness, I just watched something on TV about you, and I've seen a lot of documentaries lately, but this one was very special. It was an hour long, I really enjoyed it, and I just want to say that I think you gave the world a lot.
Janis says, I couldn't seem to get it right. I could not seem to fit in. I couldn't seem to get my focus where I wanted it.
I understand that now, but during that time in the late 60s, we didn't know that. We thought you totally had it together, especially at Monterey. What were the circumstances of your death? Was it accident or suicide?
Janis says, no, I didn't do it on purpose. It just happened. I was getting high. Got too high, I guess. Woke up here. I'm happy here, so I guess it's not a bad thing. I still jam and hang with those who are here. No stress.
Was your life that bad?
Janis says, no, I just made choices based on how I felt at the time. Drugs help me cope with life.
It is hard, isn't it?
Janis says, yes, and you have to be strong and don't give up. Do you know, I came back.
Yeah, what do you mean you came back?
Janis says, I came back, right? I tried it again.
Well, I know you left Big Brother and put together the Cosmic Blues Band.
Janis says, no. I died and came back.
Okay, back as who?
Janis says, Amy. I called myself Amy.
Amy, like as in Amy Winehouse?
Janis says, Amy Winehouse. Listen to the music.
Yeah, well, Amy's very bluesy, just like you, Janis, and you were both 27.
Janis says, the 27 Club.
Well, like they say, Janis, third time's the charm.
Janis says, nah, I don't know if I'm going to try it again. It was hard both times.
So which career did you like more? Or can you really put that into perspective like that?
Janis says, I think I did what I wanted to do the first time around, and it felt like I was creating something. I think the second time, it felt like I was trying to recreate it.
Yeah, I understand that because, back in the 60s, first with Big Brother, and then with the Cosmic Blues Band, and then when you put out Pearl, you blazed a trail. I'm not sure if Amy blazed a trail. Not sure about that.
Janis says, I was trying to do something different. I was trying to see if there was a way to be in the music business and be happy. Apparently not.
How many people in the music business that are performers like yourself are really happy?
Janis says, man, that's your job. I don't know. I think the people who play for a living are basically unhappy.
Why is that?
Janis says, because to do it for a living, you have to give up control. They try to make you into a machine, and it ain't right.
Yeah, that's what we hear from everybody. And you know this too? From being in the radio business throughout my entire career, record companies would come to me every week, bringing me dozens of records, of which maybe one, two, maybe third were good, and the rest were not so good. We'd pass. I think that's part of it. The record industries wanted bad music played, and to me, that was not right. It's not the right thing to do. I always wanted to play the good music by those artists. Does that make sense?
Janis says, yeah, it makes sense. I get that. But it seems like you have to be able to pay people a decent living and then say, just go do what you want to do. That's what works for artists. I don't want to be on a clock. I don't want to be on somebody's calendar. I just want to do what I want to do.
Confused about the Janis-Amy relationship. So when we talk to Amy, is it you?
Janis says, we're the same person. I just couldn't come back as Janis. And I thought, let's try it all new. New person, new reputation, and let's see where it goes.
You're the first person that we've talked to that's come back as someone else, and I find that very fascinating.
Janis says, there's plenty of us.
Really? I got to add that to the list of questions.
Janis says, nothing's changed. It doesn't matter when you come back. Nothing's changed. Who's going to change it?
Time?
Janis says, it's a big, big deal. We are, all of us, just continuing to see if anything has happened. Man, I'd kill for a cigarette.
We can't wait to write your story, Janis. Is it okay to say that you and Amy come back, or is that something you would rather not talk about?
Janis says, say what you want. I'm not ashamed of it. Janis isn't even the first person that I was.
Really? Who were you before that?
Janis says, I was Ma.
You were Ma?
Janis says, yeah.
Ma, help me with that. I'm not sure.
Janis says, the blues man, Ma Rainey.
Who else, Janis?
Janis says, you don't want to hear all that.
Well, Janis, I always thought you were very cool anyway.
Janis says, it's good to hear. I think I ruined my reputation on the way out both times, so it's nice to hear that some people don't think I was a complete crackpot.
Oh, no, not at all. Your music speaks for itself. Your fans don't care what you did or how you lived your life. That doesn't matter. That was your choice. It's the music. The music's amazing. Think about it. You're just amazing in both incarnations. I don't know Ma Rainey, but I'm going to find out about her. So just keep making music and please come back again.
Janis says, I don't know, man. You'll have to do some convincing.
Well, right now music is not so good. We're in a what you call a doldrum. We need some resurrection. We need some good music back on the charts. My grandkids are growing up with crap. Got to come back.
Janis says, I'll think about it. I can't make any promises. I'm having a lot of fun where I am.
Well, what do you like most about where you are?
Janis says, I like it. It's like you say about the music. I'm able to play without all the confusion, without all the demands. I can just play and be myself, right? And I'm playing with other people who are here, who are thinking about all of the things that are important to us. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, and we're talking to all those people. We've been talking to a lot of you that have passed over, and everybody's so happy. Everybody's doing their own thing. And we're doing shows about artists like you, giving you a chance to tell it like it really was and how it is now where you are. What do you think?
Janis says, I have a lot of respect for what you guys are trying to do. Yeah, it's a good idea. Most of us would like people to know the truth about how it really was.
Can we get in touch with you and talk to you and Amy and even Ma? We want to tell your stories. You've spoken with my wife, Renee. She'll contact you.
Janis says, let's do that.
One last thing. What advice do you have for humanity?
Janis says, love each other.
Great. Thank you, Janis.